So for today's video, I'm going to be filming me attempting to make my hamsters a house. Hi! This isn't a house for you. You don't get a dog house. Come sit by me. Be a part of this. Okay, great.
It's a dog video now.
It's now a dog video. Welcome back to Life on the Fringe. Today we are making a hamster house, based on the fact that I'm at my parents' house and they have a workshop where I can do such fancy things as woodworking. So my dad and I are going to be building the frame of the house, which you'll see, and then after that we're going to be decorating the house. We're thinking with paints, but I'm not sure about paints because I want it to be like multifunctional. I want it to be able to go in my tanks, which are natural looking, so I wouldn't paint it at all. I just use the wood coloring. I want it to be able to change with like the scenes, because right now all of our stuff is like for a specific season. I want something that I could use for multiple scenes of different seasons. So I haven't figured out what exactly that's going to be yet, but I will. And then I will tell you, as you'll see later in this video, what I've done. So stay tuned. Okay, so where we are at right now in the process is we've cut all the pieces of wood that we're going to use. We found this stump piece that my dad had, so we're going to use that as our front archway. We've used this piece of wood to be the little door entrance. What I think is the most creative aspect is we just used one piece of wood, which was a 6x4, and cut it into 7.5-inch sides, and then used it for the 6 inches for the height, and then we could just cut this to fit between it, so you can make it as wide as you like, but it all will be evenly the same height. And it'll also be well insulated. So then this will go on the front. Then we just made the roof next. So the roof is over here. It's a workshop. Don't mind the mess. And my dad makes birdhouses, so he had some pieces like this that were already kind of pre-slit. So this piece just kind of slides into this piece, like so. And then that's going to go on here. And then to stabilize it, of course, we're using this piece of wood, and then we cut this to be the same dimensions as the back, and the same angle as the roof we would like. And then this will rest on top of there, basically. So, clearly it's not finished. So the stage we're moving into now is final assembly. The only thing that's connected at this point are these 3 side pieces. To get the side pieces not to split, we pre-drilled holes using these things. I forget what they're called, but we used these to pre-drill holes, and then we drilled into where the holes were so that the wood didn't split. And that is a big tip because we actually wasted a little bit of wood because one of them split. And then yeah, so now we're going to assemble these using more tiny drills, and just putting this into the side, this onto the back, and then I'm not sure how we're doing the roof yet, but we'll catch up with you when we're there. Bye! So we've now attached everything together, as you can see. We, again, pre-drilled small holes and then put in some nails. We used a hammer this time to do the front and back. Then we did the roof with wood gluing it together, and then we used the pre-drilling and then small nails to nail it into both the wood log and the back tall wall that you saw before. As you can see, it's very secure. We've sanded the sides, so that's good. We've sanded the door, probably sanded a little bit more. And then the next step that we're moving to is painting it, which is going to be the most fun part. Okay, so we've moved from the workshop up to here. And the other thing that's changed is we've decided we're not going to paint it. And we're not painting it for a couple of reasons. One reason we're not going to paint it is finding paint that's hamster safe is actually pretty difficult versus just paper. And we're going to be using Elmer's glue, which is hamster safe according to the sources we found online. It says safe, non-toxic. Kids eat this stuff like none other, so we're just going to roll with that. And then the other reason we decided not to paint is because we want to be able to reuse, waste not, want not, this house. If we painted it for like a theme, like I was kind of thinking we'd paint it for January, then we would never be able to use it like in the spring. It wouldn't match. So this way with paper, we can glue it on, take the paper off, or glue on top of the paper for whatever the next like seasonal change is, and we can keep using it in our setup. So it makes it more of a worthwhile investment for our playpen. And then the other thing is if we decide to use it in a one of their tanks, like Patch, our tanks are in a natural theme, so having a super bright, colorful house is not going to be like ideal for the aesthetic of the cage. So anyhow, that was our thought process. So instead we went to Michael's and we got some paper. So first I found this paper, which, okay, looks like super sparkly, like, oh, they're gonna get super sparkly, but like, I'm no sparkle. Like, it's crazy, right, Stan?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be using this brick pattern as the pattern for the front and sides of the house. So we bought enough to cover that. We might be able to cover the back, I don't know. It was expensive paper, so I didn't want to buy like too much of it. And then we're using this for the shingles, which I know looks like fish-esque. I'm sure that's what they were going for, not shingles. But you put it on the side of this with some sparkly brick, like this, you got yourself some shingles. So that's what we're going with. And now you can watch us in a time lapse try to assemble this. The other equipment besides the glue and the paper that we need for this process are our scissors. So Stan's going to get in here and we are going to try to transform this into a January prop. Okay, so is it the most beautiful hamster hide in the world? No. Is it the most interchangeable one? Absolutely, for seasonal decor. So, here we go. So, this is the front. We've got big wide door, perfect for any searing. Well insulated walls. Beautiful sparkly snow-covered bricks. Sparkly snow-covered shingles. And they go along the sides. As if they were like wrapped around. But we glued them, separately. Folding was a big issue in this. We also did corner rims on the front. If you see tape, that's not going to stay there for when the hamsters are there. That's just to help this glue dry in place so that we have these beautiful corner edges. Okay, and then let's take a look at the roof. So again, beautiful with the glistening. I think it looks kind of like snow or ice. It's giving me like Elsa vibes, which I'm not a huge Frozen fan, but for January, what can you do? So anyhow, this is going to dry nicely, and then I'll do the back. I'll do the sides last because that's my favorite part. With the back, I did the same as the front where I have the brick and it goes up to the top where this is. I actually kind of like the back better than the front because of the log, but in the tank, when we don't have all this extra paper on it, I like the log better as a front accent piece. But because there's so much going on, the log looks a little bit out of place. So what I'm going to do probably when we do the scene is put a little wreath. And then it will all be better, okay? Now, my favorite part that I think that I did the best are the sides. Check this out. Look at those shingles. I mean, they're scalloped. They come right off the edge. They give a little dimension by having it overhang just a touch. I mean, that's beautiful. We also have this nice rim to cover up the wood. But look at this side. Absolutely gorgeous shingles draping over the, again, snow-covered bricks. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. We did this in a day. The only materials we bought were the paper. We had all of the other stuff. Rather, my dad had all of the other stuff. We don't have the stuff at home. But I think this turned out, and I'm excited to be able to use and reuse this house for future things. Like, imagine this with a red roof, and maybe like even the same white brick, but that's a great Christmas look. Or we do a spring look, and we do, a pink roof with like siding. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is now a very reusable place, in addition to being just a good hide that we can put in their tanks when all the paper is off. So, I'm very pleased with how this craft turned out. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about our process, the dimensions, anything, let me know in the comments down below, or what you would change, or etc. Different ideas for hamster crafts we could do. And then subscribe to see more of our hamster and other content, and click the notification bell to know when we post. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye! You can't choose to come into the video and then not be part of the video. You're a part of it now. You're distracting me. All right, go. Be free. Oh, you just wanted to leave. Welcome back to Life on the Fringe.